Blog Talk Radio.
Basically.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry. Well.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show. Will and Thunder Show. Thunder. Will and Thunder Show.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
How do you do with that? Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show. Are you there, Thunder?
Yes, I'm here, man. Welcome on into another edition of the Will and Thunder Show. It's Tuesday night. We're starting a little late this evening by a half hour, but here we are ready to rock and roll, man. Got a good show kicking off tonight, man. How you been there, Mr. Will?
Oh my God, I made it in to start the show like with seconds to spare. It said your show, like literally when I logged on, it said your show will go live in 30 seconds, and I was able to get logged in and everything just in time to hit the intro right on schedule. Everything's good. We're just
Man,
I
didn't know if they started the intro or what, or if I was in the queue or what was going on. I was sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'll wait to see if he's there or what's going on, but we got it rolling, man. That was good timing on your part.
Perfect. Yeah, for those new listeners, we've already got people filing into the chat room. The Harp twins, Camille and Kennerly, they will be here in about 30 minutes or so, 11 o'clock Eastern. What we'll do is about 5 minutes till or so, we'll break and play one of their songs, and then we'll come back with them. Our normal start time is 10 o'clock, and but I had some things come up and everything, and I had to take care of, and I literally just got here with like about a half a second spare to start the show.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, this is going to be a real unique show, man. The guests we have on tonight, as you said, Camille and Kimberly, man, these are some well-rounded young ladies, man. First of all, they play an instrument that is ridiculous hard to play, first of all. I mean, you will right there. You play the guitar, which has anywhere from 6 to 12 strings. I play the bass, which I played anywhere from 4 to 6 strings. But the amount of weaponry you have on a harp, man, the amount of string, it's unbelievable. And the sounds of these girls.
I don't even know how many strings on a harp.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, well, that's something we'll find out tonight. But the way that they have composed these rock songs, and it's awesome to be classically trained in something and have a love of another and bring them together like that. It's a great sound, man. But anyway, what's new in the news, man? What's going on in the world of rock and roll? Anything big you found out going on today?
Oh, actually, there's a little bit of news, and there's some stuff in history. We usually for the new listeners out there, we usually kick off the show, talk about the rock and metal news as well as this day in history. But we got a few news stories, and we're going to.
I read the news today, oh boy.
All right. Well, the news. We got two ladies. We've got news. We've got another lady making news, and this kind of upsets me a little bit because I dig Evanescence. But
Yeah, so do I.
Their singer, Amy Lee, has come out and said that she doesn't plan on doing anything with Evanescence in the foreseeable future. Which, yeah, that sucks. But
Yeah, I mean, again, they're a really good band, and when that came out, I mean, that was a great combination they had with the dueling, because they had the dueling vocals right there, but her, I mean, the powerhouse was her, of course. I mean,
well,
but you never know. You know how things go with bands. Sometimes things just don't work out, especially personality-wise, and, I mean, you never know what the backdrop is. It is sad, but, I mean, we got to dig a little further into the story.
I just hate it when people think, you know, rock bands and whatnot think that they're going to, like they're going to be better without the band that made them. I mean, you know, I think the only exception to that rule, the only one that was actually a little bit better, was when John Bon Jovi released that solo album of his back in the day with Jeff Beck playing guitar and everything. That was a really good solo album. But I mean, he went back to the original band. But when you know, people just get their attitude gets in the way, and they think, oh well, I'm the big reason why the band was successful, so I'll be even more successful on my own, and I'll make more money because I won't have to split it evenly with these other jokers. And that's, yeah, they made you big for a reason. You got big with them for a reason. It's because you guys function as a unit. I mean, think back to like Gwen Stefani when she released her solo stuff after No Doubt. I mean, No Doubt was a really good band. Not really my style, but they were a really good band. But then all of a sudden she comes out with this, you know, rap stuff or whatever, this hip hop garbage, and it's just I haven't heard anything from her since. I mean, I heard a little bit about a No Doubt reunion coming sometime soon, but I don't know when it is. I don't know if it happened, when it happened.
Right. Speaking of reunions, not really a reunion, but another metal band put out a new album this year. I believe it came out yesterday or today.
Who?
Kix.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that they had a new album out. I saw it on Sleaze Rocks, which is a site that I write for. And where did that come from?
I have no idea. Nice plug.
Sleaze, ROXX. I write for that site, and yeah, they were talking about Kix's album.
Yeah, I just saw a quick blurb on it, and try to look them up on YouTube, but you got to go through most of their old stuff. I didn't even find their new stuff on there yet. But that'd be good to hear. I mean, I love hearing all these bands coming back out. You get them back out there, and it's gonna influence a lot of the newer people out here. So I mean, it's kind of awesome.
I wonder what if Camille and Kennerly were to do the song "Don't Close Your Eyes" by Kix on the harps, how that would sound.
It would probably sound awesome. I mean, it's a great tune. It's got a great melody and all that. I mean, yeah, it can be pulled off easily.
Mm-hmm.
For them especially. I mean, the masters of their craft as they are. I mean.
Yeah. Another little bit in the news today. I read the news today. Oh boy. You've heard of Pandora and Spotify and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, Alice in Chains drummer, he doesn't like those sites.
Right, because you kind of the music's being given away for free. I mean, or very minimal payment goes to the bands on any of those sites.
Well, what he said.
Well, not sites, but apps. I mean,
Right. Well, what he said was basically if you get 10 million plays of your song and you get a check for $111. Now I don't know if he's exaggerating. I would kind of hope that he's exaggerating. But
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, it is a ripoff and it sucks.
That's a whole new meaning to starving musician right there. I mean, goodness gracious, man! Split that 4 or 5 ways with your band members. You guys aren't even eating at McDonald's anymore.
No.
That's crazy.
People in general aren't eating at McDonald's anymore. I saw a news story about that too.
I know.
McDonald's has actually been reported losses over the past fiscal quarter.
And you know what? You know that they are no longer the largest franchise in the world?
Who's got them beat?
Subway.
Wow. That's hard to believe.
You know? Well, a few years back, everybody went through this health movement of, healthier eating, and the whole Jared thing worked for Subway like a champ, man. I'm telling you. And
right,
but seriously, yeah, it's a.
I just never thought that. I never thought that Subway would have more franchises out there and more stores out there than McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's.
Well, you think everywhere you go, you see a Subway. They have standalone buildings. They're in convenience stores. They're in Walmarts. I mean, they're everywhere.
True.
You know,
for all you people in the chat room, we got a bunch in there. The ladies, Camille and Kennerly will be with us in about 15 minutes. Just letting y'all know, this is the Will and Thunder Show, and we're doing our little warm-up segment, talking about rock and metal news, and I guess Subway.
kind of got turned in there, and how, I'm not sure, but anyway, it always twists and turns to something. And a little more news, something that we, kind of need to talk about is, and it's not really rock news, man, but it kind of rocked the world, is Robin Williams.
Yeah. And I'm not really going to go into suicide and everything. This isn't a show about lectures and morality and stuff like that. But what I will do is just put a word out there to all these idiot networks and everything. Just lay off. Give the man some respect, please. It's just, do we really need the gruesome details like every 30 minutes? I mean, the story is almost 48 hours old. Does it really need to be the leading story? Does it really, I mean, give the man some freaking dignity. I mean, I don't...
Exactly. Well, the one thing here is, I don't respect the whole idea of suicide and all that.
Check your mic there, Thunder. Check your mic there, Thunder. You sound like you're in a tin can.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. Now, as I said, you're right, this is not a show about morality, but there is reality to it. But I don't agree with suicide or what have you, but my belief's beyond that. You know what? The one good thing that could come of this situation is because of how big of a celebrity he was, maybe it can, give a little stronger push to the mental illness thing, There's a lot of people out there who don't believe in it and don't agree with it, but it's a real disease. It's a real problem. Right. And... it really isn't addressed in the medical community as much as it should be.
Well, yeah,
there's a difference between having a reality check and having to tell someone, to grow up and get over it, but there's also severe depression that people really go through that really need to have the time or someone to talk to or, a medication for. I mean, it's a serious thing, especially, you got to think of how, especially some of these celebrities, we look up to these people, but the pressure that they go through on a daily basis, and I know that, when you become a celebrity, you kind of asking for it, with the same aspect, man, you can't go out to eat, you can't.
You still, leave people alone. I mean, I used to live in Hilton Head Island, and, there are all sorts of celebrities go there. I mean, it's not exactly, it's a ritzy kind of place. And one time I was standing in line to get on one of these shuttles to, it was during the 4th of July holiday, and all of a sudden I heard this voice behind me, and it was the most unmistakable voice on the planet. It was James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah, Darth Vader. Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
This is it was Mufasa from the Lion.
Mufasa, that's right.
It was the father on Coming to America. I mean, it was him. And there were a couple people that was like, walked up to him and was like, "Oh my God, can I have your autograph and everything?" And he did like a champ. But I mean, if you looked at it, if you looked him in the eyes, you could tell he was a little irritated. He just wanted to spend some time with. I'm assuming that the kids were his grandkids. But just if people are poking and prodding at you all the time, it's bound to make you go crazy and everything. If it just is unrelenting. And Robin Williams had been in a lot of different movies recently, and I think I heard somebody say that there's still like 3 more movies that are coming out that he's starred in. Like, for example, there's another Night at the Museum movie coming out, as well as a couple other movies that that aren't sequels. There's 2. Yeah, I think I heard that right. 3 more movies coming out that he was in. And
yeah, my wife was talking about one of them she heard on the news today that in one of the scenes of one of the movies, he's talking about how undignified suicide is or something like that, which is kind of ironic. I mean, and he was just in rehab recently. And I mean, but anyway, we can lay it to rest. But, and I just want to, give a shout out to his family, best wishes to them and them getting over this. Because that's the person who gets hurt the most in one of these situations, in a suicide situation, is the people who are left here.
Right.
So, his children and his wife, man, and you got to feel bad for his assistant who found him and all that. I mean, that's just, it's a horrible situation.
Right. I mean, and yeah, that person, that assistant's been traumatized. I mean, he's never gonna.
Oh yeah, that's for life.
Yeah.
For life. I mean, yeah, she's no good. I mean, it's gonna take a long time for her to get over something like that.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't find them lying there, peacefully or whatever, like you see in the movies. Death is not an elegant or pretty thing at all, and
no, it's not exactly.
And I'm going to stop talking about it before I get into a rant. And
I hear you.
We've got a bunch of brand new listeners tonight, and we don't want to scare them off.
No, not at all, man. But I mean, that's just something that's big in the news today. So I figured I'd bring it up and just get it out there and get it done with. And rest in peace. And I hope his family gets to move on through this and get through get through their tragedy and the best way they can.
Yeah. Now, I have something else, and then we'll move on to rock history.
Playing some music, and we got to play some music here too. We got to get going on with this rock and roll show. But anyway, go ahead. What do you got?
Gene Simmons.
What about Gene now?
You could do a whole show on Gene Simmons every week.
The godfather of rock and roll. All right.
Gene Simmons said in an interview this week, he says, a lot of young people have stupid ideas. A lot of people have stupid ideas. It's because they're young. It's called the folly of youth. We know it. We think we know it all. We actually don't. We're idiots, myself included. He says, I remember as a kid, he's saying, I'll never trust anybody over 30. And then he says, well, guess what? The coolest people are the people that play stadiums around the world. He says, they're not 30, but they're over 60.
Yeah.
Like the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Kiss, they're all playing stadiums. I mean, which 20 to 30-year-old is playing in a stadium? Nobody is.
Right, exactly. Respect your elders, children. Respect your elders.
But he makes the point, who's going to take over for these great stadium acts when the Bon Jovis, the Kiss, and all these other rock people that are, 50, 60, plus 70 years old decide to call it quits, because there's really nobody, none of the younger bands out there that could really step up and fill a stadium. I mean, that's probably why.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it right nowadays, the only way for them to fill a stadium is they put 15, 20 bands together and call it a, music fest.
The festival, yeah. And sometimes those are going to be happening in stadiums. More likely, they're going to be happening, in huge parks, like...
Yeah, outdoor venues. Right.
Yeah, like Wickham Park in Florida, with the 80s in the Park Festival. Like, like Woodstock, I mean, and that's a good way to bring us into the rock history.
And now, this week in rock history, rock history.
Thunder. I just mentioned Woodstock.
Yes, you did.
Did you know that it was actually August 15th in 1969 that Woodstock began?
No, I did not know that. I did read something today that the second Woodstock was this week in history as well. It was around August 4th or August 6th or something like that. But I did not realize that it was August 15th. And yes,
you have some.
It's kind of big, it's.
You have some
I actually do have family ties to Woodstock. I actually do, yes. My uncle played with a band called Blood, Sweat, and Tears, one of the founding members. Played with them for years, and yeah, they got to play at Woodstock. And the way I found out that he played at Woodstock was kind of interesting as well. When Will and I were in our first band, if you want to call it a band, I mean, there was four guys in a garage banging on drums and strings on guitars and basses that we thought we were making music back then. And he was in town, so yeah, we were making music. And he came into town. I'm like, oh, you got to come check out my band. You know, I know you were in a band in the 60s, but you got to come check us out. So he came and listened to us practice. We played all the 4 or 5 songs that we had. And we're like, yeah, so what do you think? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, keep on plugging away. And our singer at the time,
that's not what he said. He said, he said you guys have a long way to go, which is polite speak for you guys fucking suck. You should just hang it up right now and maybe go take up soccer.
But then my singer, yeah, cut your hair and do something with your life. This is not the path for you to go. But anyway, our singer at the time, Mr. Michael Durst, good friend of ours, played something. So, well, you know, I mean, I know that you were in a big band. What's the biggest show you ever played? And he kind of hesitated and goes, well, I guess it would have to be Woodstock. And we were all like, what? What? We were a bunch of 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and man, we were standing in the graces of a true musician right there, and we like to lose it right there. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was, but that started this week in rock history.
And I mean, that was just epic, a monumental thing that started so small and it got so big and out of control. It was crazy, man. I was up in New York, man, upstate New York, where I was born. That's where I'm from. And actually, my uncle, who was in that band there, got his degree from, you know, New York right there. And it's just, I mean, it was just that the crazy time back then, you know. I'd have loved to live in that era. It was just, I mean, it was just awesome. It was the music of that time.
Well,
I mean, you got to think of it. I mean,
yeah, I think living in that era would have been fun because do you remember the TV show Family Ties?
Yeah.
Well, the guy that played the nerd, Skippy, I can't remember his name, but I remember seeing him in a stand-up routine, and he was saying, all you people that lived in the 60s and the 70s, free love and drugs and all that stuff, he says, I want to, you know, thanks a lot, because now my generation is called the me generation, and that's because all the diseases that you guys came up with, the only person I can have sex with is me.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, man.
But,
I mean, the reason I'm saying, just think of the evolution of music during that time frame. I mean, you went from the Elvis generation into Led Zeppelin and Hendrix, and I mean, it was just such a crazy time in the music industry of how it evolved into the, I mean, that was the evolution of, like, metal music right there, the evolution of, you know, real, what we know of as rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. Well, you brought up Jimi Hendrix, and it's kind of ironic that that you brought it up because when I was looking through history, the Monkees actually, you know, remember when they got popular again back in the mid '80s?
Yeah.
You know, kind of retro, and they did a tour and everything, and they did a new album. Well, that was around this week in 1986, I think it was, and Jimi Hendrix's first gig, believe it or not, was opening for the Monkees.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
And the sad part of it was that he was booed off the stage during that tour frequently. Which,
well, you think, I mean, because of it. All right, now, with his style back then was so unique, it was so different that, I mean, people didn't know how to take it, you know?
Right, and the Monkees were more or less the first boy band.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, and, you know, you know that when they started the show, they did not know how to play an instrument. None of them did?
Well, Peter Tork did, the bass player.
Who was the guy now? I mean, one thing, like, if you look back at old Star Trek and the old Monkees, I thought it was the same guy that played on the show, on the same shows. Chekhov was one of the Monkees. Kind of looked like him.
Well, yeah, Chekhov did kind of look like like Davy Jones. But our guests are here. Let's go ahead and break, and we're going to come back with the Harp Twins. I've got a few of their songs here. They just premiered on their site. They just premiered Crazy Train by Ozzy. So we're going to go ahead and open with that one.
I listened to that the other night.
Very cool. We're going to go ahead and open with that, and we'll be right back with Camille and Kennerly, the Harp Twins. Good stuff. Welcome back to the Wool and Thunder Show. That was Crazy Train by the Harp Twins, Camille and Kennerly, and they're here with us right now. Welcome, ladies.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us. It was So some lovely applause there. Yeah, a great studio audience.
Oh,
Well, thank you. We pay them well. Welcome into the show, ladies.
Thank you. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. First of all, thank you for being on the show, and congratulations on all the accomplishments you guys have, man. You guys have kind of done a little bit of everything out there, haven't you?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we enjoy a bunch of different stuff, so and we like to stay busy.
Yeah, obviously. Well, here, first things first, I'm going to drop the question right off the bat. How'd the conversation go with Mom and Dad after all the lessons on the harp, and you're like, you know what, thanks for letting us learn how to play this instrument. I want to play Metallica and AC/DC with it.
Oh, well, actually, the harp was sort of our thing all the way along. We played piano when we were really young, and then in about middle school, we decided we really wanted to play the harp. We just thought it was a magical instrument, and we just thought it was so much more fun and I don't know, unique than other instruments. But our mom didn't have enough money to pay for a harp or lessons, so we did a bunch of work ourselves to earn the money for a small used harp. We did babysitting and dog walking, and eventually we earned enough money for a small harp. And we were trained classically and studied classical music, but playing contemporary stuff just kind of happened very gradually and naturally for us. So it wasn't something that we really had a sit-down discussion about with our parents.
Well, that's cool. No, I could just see it, in the background. Here's our daughter's learning to play harp, and all of a sudden, I'm going to play Metallica, AC/DC, and a little bit of Ozzy. How about that? Which, I think is awesome, I'm like, all right, cool, man, let's do this thing.
Well, our parents have always been really supportive of our dreams and whatever we wanted to do, and our mom loves classic rock and stuff, so we kind of inherited a pretty eclectic taste in music from her, so she's all for it. So we had a lot of trouble convincing were the people in charge of our conservatory of music that we attended for college. Not our harp teacher. She was super supportive and wanted us to do whatever made us happy, but we were literally sneaking our contemporary arrangements into our classical recitals. We put it at the very end and not put it in the program because they never would have allowed us.
Right. That is awesome. So you guys are rock stars out the gate.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I was wondering. Do both of you like rock, or is there one of y'all that likes country and just kind of does rock for whatever? Or are you both metal chicks, is basically what I'm asking?
We both definitely love metal and rock. Neither one of us likes it more than the other one. Our interests and our tastes are really spot on with each other. So they're also pretty varied. We don't just listen to rock and metal. We will occasionally listen to country or classical or jazz or a little pop here and there. But, very eclectic tastes. And we pretty much like all the same things. I don't think there's any song that one of us likes that the other one doesn't. We don't have any disagreements about deciding what we're going to cover or something like that. It's always a joint decision, and we've never had any disagreements about that.
I was going to ask you, how you going about choosing a song? So it's just something you guys will hear a song and want to be like, you know what, like Crazy Train, which we just heard. Yeah, that's a really cool song. It's got the cool intro to it right there. Why don't we try this? Is that about how it goes when you guys are choosing, what songs you're going to do next?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of times we're not even sure ourselves how we're going to arrange something to suit harp that really wasn't meant, when it was written, it wasn't meant to be played on two harps. So we have to make it sound like it was written to be played on two harps, which is a really big challenge with most of the music that we're covering. But, a lot of times we'll just pick music that we really like. Our to-do list for arranging and a mile long. And it keeps getting longer, I think. And we also try to cover our top fan requested songs. So we try to fit those in there as well as the ones that we're playing because we like the songs and things like that. So it's kind of a range of how we decide which songs to cover. Yeah, as far as Ozzy Osbourne, our newest arrangement that we just put up onto YouTube, that was something we really had wanted to try for a long time. And it was a really fun one. And we had recently gotten the blue harps. They're called harpsichord harps. And they're quite a bit smaller, and they have about an octave less in the bottom range than our black electric harps do. And so we have to arrange music specifically for them. And we thought, why not start with something kind of fun like Crazy Train? So it was even more challenging to arrange for those harps because we had much less of a range than we're accustomed to having. But it's super fun, and we're really pleased with it. And we actually just recently arranged two more pieces for the Blue Harpsicle harp. So those will be coming out probably, I don't know, later this year, early next year. And I just finished arranging another Metallica, so lots of arrangements.
Which one?
Oh, it's a surprise. We can't tell you.
Well, you guys have one Metallica song on YouTube, and my mind has just went blank.
We did Nothing Else Matters. So that
Nothing Else Matters yet. Let me tell you what, that is so spot on to the music right there. I was like, what am I listening to here? I mean, it is ridiculous good.
I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to make a guess, and I know you guys said it was going to be a surprise, but I'm going to make a guess. I think it's going to be For Whom the Bell Tolls or Fade to Black.
Ah, good guesses. Those are great songs. The song that
Fade to Black especially. Fade to Black is one of my favorite Metallica songs of all time. The melody right there. I can hear that on the harp kind of right there. I can see you guys on stage with Metallica playing that song right there, killing it.
That would be a dream. That would be amazing. The song that we arranged is one of our favorite Metallica songs, so we really had fun with it.
Now, when the way I first heard of you guys was, a couple years ago, and I didn't hear it wasn't because of anything that that I didn't just happen to stumble across you guys on YouTube. It was because of Iron Maiden. They published, they put your cover of Fear of the Dark on their Facebook page, and I saw this. I'm like, okay, Fear of the Dark and harps. Like, okay, I listened to it, and I must have listened to it like 10 times that day. I'm like, this is probably quite possibly the coolest thing I have ever heard in my life. Because that song's hard for guitar players to pull off, and you guys pulling it off on harps with like 6,000 strings on it.
We're taking that one was definitely, at that time, was definitely our most challenging arrangement. Iron Maiden songs, they're so complex. They have so many meter changes and tempo changes and different, they don't come back to the same thing at such times. Everything's different. And so that was just a ton of fun, but it's one of our favorite arrangements to perform. Although we're usually exhausted after we finish playing it. So we recently did Dance of Death, and that one I would say is probably more challenging even than Fear of the Dark was. It's just a little bit
definitely.
longer.
I mean, it's longer. There's even more changes, which I think Fear of the Dark has about at least 13 changes, and Dance of Death probably got like 20.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's longer, but it's actually formatted very similarly, and its construction to Fear of the Dark, so that's kind of interesting. But those are two of our favorite Iron Maiden songs, and I don't know, maybe we just like that particular format that Iron Maiden did with the two of those songs. But Iron Maiden has such fun stories in their music. It's not just it kind of goes along, and you tell the whole story as the song goes along, and so we always try to kind of get across the original, I don't know, kind of storyline or intention and tone of a song when we cover it, even though we don't have lyrics and things like that.
Well, the video that you guys did for Fear of the Dark was really cool too, and it's just you kind of acting it out. But then you guys topped yourself with the video for Dance of Death.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that one was definitely a huge challenge because we don't have any kind of crew with us. We just have a little handheld camera, so we were filming each other when we did all of the different parts for that. That's why there's only like one of us in the screen when we're doing all the extra footage. When we're playing, we stick it on a tripod, which is why the shot doesn't move. So that one we kind of had a concept that we wanted to do that one for a long time. It doesn't exactly follow the storyline of the original song, but kind of like our interpretation of it. It's in the spirit of the original song, I guess. That one was a lot of fun, but a challenge.
Now, did Iron Maiden get in touch with the two of you, or did they just share your cover?
No, we haven't actually heard from Iron Maiden. I didn't even know they shared it. Yeah, we didn't know that, so that's cool. But hey, Iron Maiden, if you want to work with us, we're here.
That's right. Yeah, let them know. Throw it out there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Well, it's amazing. I mean, you were some, decently young girls here, and your ability is amazing, especially, the way that you guys construct your songs, and, you're doing everything on your own, and you're talking about, you're doing all the filming for your videos by yourselves with a handheld camera?
Yeah, we are. We have a little, it's literally like this small kind of rather inexpensive handheld camera, just a point and shoot, and we stick it on a tripod. And it's kind of funny because we really need a new tripod. We've been using the same one for all of our videos for years, and it's kind of slightly crooked, so we have to like wedge one side into the dirt or something, or we'll prop it up on the rock. We're so it's very untechnical. Yeah, and even our little handle that raises the crank up for the top of the tripod, it broke off, so now we kind of just jimmy rig it and like pull it upward and do it terrible, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the videos that I've seen, you cannot tell that it's not done with somewhat of a crew there, because, I mean, the pictures are great. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, that's good work for you guys to do on your own right there.
Oh, thank you. You know, we work with whatever we have at the location. You know, we don't have, obviously, any kind of lighting or anything, so sometimes if we want if you want our shots to be cloudy, we'll be literally standing there waiting for a cloud to come over, and it comes over like, go, go, go. You have to go now. Film with the clouds. Yeah. So we kind of just film with the elements. We find our locations ourselves. We edit the videos ourselves. And most of the time
it's great because I've seen some locations. I mean, you have like, almost like a rock face behind you in, one scene. And I mean, some of the pictures I've seen, it's great to me that, you guys, first of all, I took film and video in college, and for you to get the quality that you're doing right there without the knowledge, I mean, it's amazing to me. I mean, I would have never thought watching the videos and, seeing some of these things you've done that it wasn't done with at least, a couple other people there helping and, especially some of the locations. That's crazy to me. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, we find all our own locations too, obviously, and sometimes we'll find a location and we won't be in that area of the country or anywhere close for a long time, but we'll kind of set it aside, and we try to film when we're traveling for performances and things like that. We're going to be by a certain area where, that we know we want to film a specific video in, and usually we have just a few hours window to do that. So whatever the weather is, we just deal with it. We've had literal downpours, like when we were filming our Space Theta video. We had to hike a few miles out into the woods, and we had our harps and all our equipment in our cases and backpacks and stuff. And once we got there, we were filming for I think a couple hours, and then all of a sudden it just started pouring. So we quickly put everything away and tried to cover up. We were using our bodies as shields for the harp cases. We were just looked like drowned rats after that. But and then we recently traveled up to California for an event, and we had a video that we really wanted to film in a desert type of location. But unfortunately, this time of year isn't exactly for the Southwest, and it was literally 106 degrees when we were filming. And we were out in the sun, and
And I'm telling you, and don't take this the wrong way, but you are ladies right there, and you guys wear makeup, so when it's 106 degrees outside, and you're out there jamming on harps to, whatever it is you're playing at that time, I mean, you got to worry about so many different things. It's crazy. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I think it was so hot that the sweat just evaporated right off. I think. It was that body heat where you feel like you're in an oven. Yeah, we were pretty much shaking.
Everybody else was like, man, how'd they get that cool smoke effect? No, it's not the smoke. It was just my sweat evaporating off my skin as we were playing.
Yeah, you touch us with cold water and we sizzle. Yeah.
It's actually, and a funny story, pardon me.
You there?
Well, yeah, I'm here. I'm battling this cold. It just caught me in the throat there. But anyway, as I was saying, when I was in film school, we had to do a video, pick a song and do a video, and we did Fade to Black. But during one of the scenes, we were driving through a graveyard, and we didn't have the trolley and all that kind of stuff. We had my buddy's minivan. So we opened the side door and had the camera mounted on the tripod, and we were driving through the graveyard reel, so, trying to get the back end of the head, the tombstones for the scene we were doing. And his van overheated when we were doing it, so he had this stream of steam and smoke that was coming off the front of the car. And It worked so well in the video, but it was totally unplanned.
That is awesome. I guess it turned out well for your final video, and it was a good story.
It was awesome. It was awesome. We definitely got an A on the project, and we actually took it to a small film festival in Florida, and we won what was called a Golden Reel Award for cinematography on that project.
Nice. Wow. All the pain was worth it. That's awesome.
It was. Well, good thing we did blow up his van, so we were still good.
Oh, no.
No, I've actually been to one of the locations that you guys filmed at, the ones you did for the Game of Thrones theme.
Oh, nice. It's fun for us to kind of, travel and find fun locations because we actually, all our videos are from the U.S., and a lot of people don't realize that, but I think we should calculate sometime how many states we filmed in because it's a lot. But we feel like the locations really bring the music to life in the videos, and it all kind of adds into it. The costumes and the location and just all contribute to the atmosphere of the music video and help really bring it to life for the viewer. Yeah, rather than just sitting in our living room and...
That old church, I mean, I'm a photographer myself, and I've got probably about 150 pictures taken from that old church, and
oh, cool.
And that was perfect for the Game of Thrones theme. I mean, you really, especially some of the locations that they shot at during this last season that just ended. It really seemed like something that you would see in that particular season, as because there were more, the war was getting deeper and everything, and the buildings were kind of looking, getting burned and rugged and all that stuff. So yeah, that was a perfect location.
So thank you. Yeah, we wish we could film in Europe. That'd be perfect. Maybe someday.
Well, I mean,
people don't realize that there's that type of rustic, rusted, rugged look or whatever in South Carolina or wherever.
Yeah. We I'm trying to think. I think it was our Walking Dead video that we just stumbled upon at that location. I think it was after a performance, and we were driving, and it was after we performed at the Carolina Game Summit, I think. And we just happened upon this kind of old store, and we hopped out of our van and filmed our Walking Dead video. And it's cool because it kind of turned out so perfectly looking for the show. And sometimes we really have a specific location in mind, and sometimes you just stumble upon the perfect thing and have to hop on and film there.
Well, let's go ahead and break for a minute or two. I've got the Walking Dead theme on here. Want to go ahead and play it, and we'll come right back?
Awesome.
Okay. This is the Walking Dead theme by Camille and Kennerly, the Harp twins, and we'll be right back on the Will and Thunder Show.
See you in a minute.
Welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That was, of course, the Walking Dead theme. And actually, you know what? I think I recall seeing Bear McCreary tweet that out on his social media.
He did, yeah. He tweeted it and put it on his Facebook, and something along the lines of it being the most interesting cover of one of his compositions that he had ever seen. So that was a huge compliment because we're really big fans of his work, and we're ginormous Walking Dead fans, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that show is just really well done all the way around, except for, it can kind of get a little tedious at some points, but it's still a really cool show.
Oh, we love it.
That's not the... Oh, go ahead.
It's our favorite show. We're completely obsessed. Yeah, we got to play for the Walker Soccer Con in Chicago this past fall, and Greg Nicotero, who's the executive producer and he directs a lot, it was his birthday, and so the organizers of the con had us go up and stage during his panel and play the Happy Birthday for him, and we did a kind of a mashup of Happy Birthday and the Walking Dead theme for him, so that was really fun, since we're huge fans of the show.
That must be so cool, man. You put all this work into it, and some of your idols you get to perform in front of, and I mean that's something really neat right there.
Yeah, for sure, and it was interesting because we got to chat with him for quite a lot, and Greg Nicotero, and he's actually friends with Kirk Hammett, and he took actually when we were performing, we also played Metallica, Nothing Else Matters Here, one of his sets, and he filmed it with his phone, and he emailed it to Kirk Hammett right then and there, and he came back later, and he's like, Kirk got back to me, and he said it was really awesome, so that was pretty cool. We were pretty amazed that someone actually from Metallica saw our cover.
That is really cool. The one thing that we do on the show, and we actually have a little musical interlude to bring it in, but I'm not going to play that. But we ask people about, it's called the Spinal Tap segment, where we ask people, about mishaps and, outtakes or whatever, stuff that happens when you're on the road that, maybe didn't go exactly as you planned. Like, for example, when Thunder and I used to play in bands, and one of the shows that we did, our drummer had built this drum cage out of PVC pipe, and, well, let's just say it didn't last the entire show. It fell down during the show and landed on a $1,200 acoustic guitar.
Oh, no. Oh, no, that's painful.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, it was. But, I mean, so tell us about some of your not so, not so perfect moments or whatever.
Well, thankfully we haven't had anything that catastrophic, no loss of instruments. Well, there was that one incident with the... Yeah, it was actually like one of our very first kind of paying gigs. We were playing at a church, actually, and we were just playing music during some of the different elements of the service, and we were playing during their communion, and the pastor was up kind of right behind us in the stairs, going up to the choir loft and passing the wafers. And when he was coming down the steps, we were like sitting right in front of that on the small stage, and he literally fell right onto me, like he fell off of the stairs, just straight into my back, and like knocked me and my harp way forward, and there were little bread wafers everywhere, all over me, all over they were all over the harp. It was I think the whole congregation gasped in unison. That was pretty funny. Luckily, it kind of we didn't stop playing. I think I maybe missed like 8 beats and just got back on and kept playing. But I think it was a good lesson right off the bat about being prepared for anything.
And the funny thing of that story is, when our drummer, his drum set fell apart and fell on the guitar, we were playing at church as well. We were playing at church, and it was the music leader of the church's guitar, so he was really cool about everything. Don't worry about it, guys, stuff happens, it's okay, I can get your guitar fixed, you guys okay, let's get your drum kit put back together, and let's, finish the show. Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing. It actually could have been catastrophic, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think Pastor felt so badly about falling into me, and we were just glad he wasn't injured, because especially because they didn't know us. It was not our pastor or something, and I think he felt so badly, but it turned out just fine. It was a fun story for later on. Not as fun as yours. Yours is way more fun.
Cool.
It was something. I mean, we were all playing right there, and all of a sudden the drums quit. And I was still playing, and all of a sudden there's no vocals and no guitar, and I stopped playing, and I turned around, and I saw the drum kit half of it was gone.
My goodness.
What just happened? It was quite humorous.
What did you do? Did you stop playing, or?
No, we actually just took an intermission, put everything back together, and we finished our set.
Nice. You could have used it as your time to shine as a
minus
solo.
the PVC drum cage.
Exactly. We were playing for a youth group that evening when we had everything set up, and there was about 40, 50 kids there, teenagers and everything. And we're like, all right, well, just give us a little time, and we'll get everything put back together, and we'll get back to doing what we do.
Nice. You guys are pros.
Yeah, the first band that Thunder and I were in was actually a Christian band because we were all like heavily influenced by Stryper and stuff like that. And
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Another thing that I saw, through looking. Oh, actually, before I go there, I kind of wanted to address something else. The banner that I made for the for the show. I mean, it kind of got a lot of not really bad criticism or anything, but people were like kind of confused. Initially, I was going to use that picture of you guys from the Ozzy shoot with, you're wearing blue, you got the blue harps and everything. Because I liked that. It was a nice, nice cool color and everything, blue. And then, but I was just scrolling through. I mean, I do the same thing for each show that we do. Just find a picture and slap our logo on top of it. Blowing Thunder, welcome, so and so. But then I came across that one where it's got the basically the angel and the demon thing, and with like a red and blue. And I have red and blue welcome thing. So I figured if I cut that in half, use half of it and everything opposite what I have, it's just, I liked it, but apparently some people didn't really care for that.
Oh no, we liked it. We thought it was fun. I think the artwork was originally. Yeah, the picture is actually not an actual photo. It's a photo edit by a fan. We posted it as like a fan artwork, but we thought it was very fun. I mean, the fans took some different photos from our Send Me an Angel shoot, and they changed one of them so that the outfit was red instead, and they added the cool apocalyptic backgrounds and stuff. We thought it was a very fun fan artwork. We don't take offense to it. We don't think it's like, oh, one of you is evil and one of you is good. So it's a cool, interesting artwork. Yeah, and it worked really well with your logo, so I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I like that, and how like if the blue picture of one of you has the red part of the logo in it, and then vice versa for the other one, and then opposite of that was the Camille and Kennerly name. I mean, I thought it was cool. But I wanted to ask. Thank you. I wanted to ask about your when you guys go around and perform in front of these these kids, like the Angels group for example, these kids that are special or whatever. I guess that's probably not the best word, but kids that need help or whatever. And it's just the pictures that you guys had of with them. I mean, it looked like you guys made their month.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. We've really worked with children and young adults with special needs for pretty much our entire life. Yeah, we have a cousin who had severe challenges and disabilities. He was in a wheelchair and he was nonverbal and couldn't walk, but he was really a big influence on our lives. He was just so special to us, and he passed away several years ago. But because of him, when we were just small kids, we started volunteering at like a summer program, baseball program where they pair one kind of challenge child with the child without challenges, and they play baseball for 5 weeks in the summer just for fun. It's not anything serious, and that's kind of how we got started. In high school we worked with children with autism, doing a developmental therapy, and we've done a lot of volunteer work for events, performing for events that benefit those with special needs. So yeah, the pictures that you saw are at a facility called Little Angels, and the facility is for children and young adults with really extremely severe challenges. They need 24-hour care, and our cousin lived there himself for the last 2 years of his life, and so we visited him there a lot and got to meet the kids. And so when we got our new blue harps from Harpsicle Harps, one of our goals with that was to bring them into the kids because we could actually put them onto the kids' laps because they're light enough and small enough, and the kids could, we helped them, do glissandos and pluck the strings and whatever they were, whatever they wanted to do or kind of we could tell they felt comfortable with. It was just really fun to be able to bring them around to each child individually. And there was even one child there who was deaf and blind, but we put her hands on the soundboard, and then she could feel the vibrations of the harp. And there was another girl who the caretakers there said is just kind of always in a bad mood, or she's just not very happy ever. And she just had the biggest smile on her face when the harp was in her lap, and she was able to touch the strings, and the caretakers were just amazed that she was so happy doing that. Yeah. So it's a really fun for us to be able to do stuff like that.
And it's so fulfilling to do. The company I work for, we do once a year. I work in a restaurant, and we do a Christmas thing. We have a couple schools around here, and we bring in special needs kids, and we do a big breakfast for them, and we'll have Santa there. And actually, I've been doing this for 2 years now, and one of the kids that was there, his name's Marcellus. He actually graduated, or quote graduated this year. He was 21, so it was his last year to be able to be, part of the program. And he was just the funniest. Every year that he was there, he's there singing the Christmas carols loud. And he was just the happiest, go-luckiest kid. And it's just when you get done doing something like that, you feel more blessed than the children do. It's amazing.
Oh, that's so much fun. We even have challenged friends who we've had since we were 8 years old, and we see them all the time and spend time with them. And it's really cool that we've really been developing relationships with their whole lives, and they're just amazing and inspiring people and make you want to be a better person and can teach us so much. So it's really a passion of ours.
And you were talking about the baseball thing, which is a kind of a neat thing, because we have a special needs baseball field here. We have a big sports complex, or a baseball complex, where they'll do like softball tournaments and everything, and they have a special needs field, and they do the same thing in the summertime. They actually, the rubber, where they take the tires and cut them up and reuse the rubber and make the playgrounds out of it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's what they made the baseball lanes out of, between first, second, and third base, and you have these children that with special needs, especially, and a lot of them in wheelchairs with cerebral palsy or, what so have you, and they'll get up there and they'll get with a bat, let it hit it off a tee, or they'll help them do that, and then they push them around, and it's just fun for them to, get out there and do, what they see everybody else do.
Right,
it's awesome. It's awesome.
That is so cool. Love it.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that with kids, but I have gone and played acoustic guitar and sang some classic rock songs and whatnot with for old folks before. And,
oh, that's fun. Bringing music to people who maybe go to music. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a one good thing about music right there. I mean, with music, especially, with the special needs kids or with the the elderly right there, it's something everybody can connect to. And you said even that girl was deaf and blind. When you put her hand on the harp and she could feel the vibrations, and that's the way she understands sound.
Right, and you're connecting with someone, and that's really special, and it's something that lasts, in your soul and your heart. It's kind of further proof that music unites people and bridges, kind of perceived barriers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had 4 or 5 bands from overseas, and a lot of their music is English-based, with the English language, but some songs have been in another language. But, with music, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's an international thing. Whether you understand the words, you can still feel the passion or feel the strength in the song, whether you understand the lyrics or not, and you can feel the music either way. I mean, there's a message that's put across and a feeling through everything that you play. It's kind of a, international language for everything. For everybody around the world.
Yeah, definitely.
I would be curious because I know strumming a harp, your heavier strings are going to feel different than your lighter strings and everything. I'm wondering how somebody who's deaf would perceive feeling the different vibrations. I'm wondering basically what I'm saying is I wonder what it would sound like to them, how they perceive it. Because, I mean, and to be honest with you, that's something I would like to, somehow be able to experience, but I really don't see how that would be possible.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Maybe something you'll never, I guess, never know.
Actually, Friday we talked about earlier, our singer back in the day, his name was Mike Dirks, he had a girlfriend at one point, and she was blind. She'd been blind since she was about 2 years old, so she had a vague memory of colors, very little on detail. And she told me something one time that really struck me, and it's the only way to explain being blind. I was asking her, so what is it like? I mean, what do you see? I mean, what is it? Is it dark? And she's like, no, it's nothing. I'm like, I can't understand that. I've been able to see my whole life. So I can't understand the thought. I can understand closing my eyes. You can still see light. Light and dark, you can tell the difference. And she's like, it's simple as this. She goes, it's simple as this. Close your eyes right now and look out your ear.
Wow.
And when I did, I was like, wait a minute. Now my brain kind of concepts the whole idea of it's nothing. So you don't even have to close your eyes. If you take your hand and you put it out of your field of vision, put it by your ear and try and see your hand. That's what they see. Absolutely nothing. I was like, that is and it was like just an evolution in my brain right there. I was like, oh, wow, wait a minute. You know what? Now I get it.
Yeah, definitely. That's so interesting.
But so it's the same thing with, like hearing, because if you're in the house and you're doing something and someone slams a door, you not only hear it, but you feel it. Same thing when you're playing music. When you're playing a song and you're hitting your higher octaves, you don't get that much of a vibration. It's a lighter, softer sound. When you get down to the bass levels and it's more vibration than it is sound, that's what you feel.
Yeah.
You're feeling it instead of hearing it. So that's the way I can kind of put it in perspective for you, right there. Kind of, you feel more. You're not hearing it, you're feeling it.
Yeah,
So the lighter the vibration, the higher the pitch, the deeper the vibration, the lower the pitch.
Right. Yeah, our harps actually have a huge amount of vibration, which makes them really difficult to record, but especially our concert grand harps are really big ones. They just have an enormous amount of vibration. And the whole floor, you can feel it kind of shaking when we play them. It's really quite amazing that they have a lot of, they have an extended soundboard, which really bring out the bass in them. But it's really cool live. Yeah, recordings is hard to kind of get that whole feeling, but live it's really fun, and kind of you can get the full richness of the sound.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm a bass player right here, so, I mean, that's what I know. Like in a song, when you're playing and you're hitting it and you can feel the bass guitar, you're not really hearing it, but you can feel the rhythm. That's why it makes it more of a percussion instrument, in my opinion, than it does a melodic instrument.
Harp is actually technically a percussion instrument like piano is. It's not actually in the string family. Because it's not bowed, the strings are plucked. So it's technically percussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys could probably rock a stand-up bass, couldn't you?
Actually, we've never tried playing a bass before, although I love upright bass. That's my favorite, stringed instrument. It's such a cool instrument. Yeah, but we haven't ever tried it before. I don't know whether we'd be good at it or not.
Well, that's like me now. I've played everything from, I played trombone, baritone, French horn, played the trumpet for a while. I played the clarinet, and then when I got to my teens, I got away from the school band sound, and I grabbed a bass guitar and started playing.
Nice.
But, yeah, I mean, I've never played a stand-up bass, and it's my dream. I'm just going to do it one day. I'm going to go out and buy one, and if it takes me 2 years to figure out how the sounds are, to make it sound right, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's one thing I'm going to do, is learn how to play a stand-up bass.
I'm sure you can find some good YouTube tutorials for that. Yeah, you should definitely go for it.
YouTube.
And, just not only is it a richer, fuller sound, but it's just cool. I mean, you see a guy up there with a bunch of guys, jamming on some electric guitars, and you got a stand-up bass with a, one pickup on there and just plucking and pulling. Oh, man, that's awesome. It's awesome.
That was a great imitation of an upright bass.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I love it.
You don't even do it. I want to ask about your movie appearances, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and play another tune. Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who season is.
How did I know that you were going to play that song?
It's relevant.
Now, look, if it was my choice, it would have been like Metallica right there. But this is one of the biggest all-time Doctor Who fans. He's trying to get me sucked into it. And I haven't watched it yet. I hear it's a great show. But, yeah, I knew that you were going to do that. I knew. It's all about you, Will. It's all about you.
The brand,
That's how our relationship is.
It's relevant because the new season with the brand new Doctor is about to start in about 2 weeks, so it's relevant.
Yes, very clear.
So
God, I love you, Will.
We're going to go ahead and play the Doctor Who theme, and we'll be right back with Camille and Kennerly, the Harp twins, on the Will and Thunder Show.
Come on back, y'all.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That was the Harp twins right there with the Doctor Who theme song.
Yes.
Are the two of you Doctor Who fans?
We are. We really love Doctor Who. We actually, the Doctor Who magazine a few months ago in the Five Doctors issue had a little blurb about our cover, so that was really cool. I know, we made a Doctor Who magazine, so that was awesome. It's a great show.
That's really cool.
We're definitely looking forward to the new season, although we're going to miss the old Doctor, but yeah, we like Matt. That, everyone always misses the old Doctor, so I'm sure we're in good company there. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
You know what? I wasn't really much of a Doctor Who fan until just a few years ago when I just kind of, I had known about the show for years and years and years, but I never really watched it. And then all of a sudden one time I sat down and just watched the first season with Christopher Eccleston or whatever the hell his last name is, and the first of the new episodes. And
right.
I was hooked. I was hooked, and I managed to catch up with everything at the end of this last season with Matt. And I had also been watching that show, The Musketeers, where it had Peter Capaldi as the evil archbishop that was like trying to rule the French crown or whatever. And he's the new Doctor and everything. But so I kind of had a little educating, little preview of what to expect from Doctor Who with him. And I got to tell you, I think that Capaldi is going to be amazing. I really do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will be. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure they're going to do a great job with the new season and the new Doctor. So.
Yeah, and well, I wanted to ask you about because I noticed that you guys had done like Kennerly, I think it was one of the children in the movie. What was it? That
It was you're talking about, I think, Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn. We were actually both in it. They were looking specifically for twins to play two of Vince Vaughn's biological daughters in the film, and the director picked us out, handpicked us out for, it was a very small background role, but it was fun to work with Vince, and because all of our scenes basically were with Vince Vaughn, so we got to hang out a lot, and just getting paid to sit around and play with Vince Vaughn and sing songs, pretty fun. Like
cool.
Hang out, and he's a really, really cool guy. Just really nice and chill, and just would hang around with everyone inside. Yeah, very friendly. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Is he as funny in person as he is in the movies?
He is funny. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's a funny guy. He had a lot of inside jokes with the people that were working on set, day-to-day stuff, and he's a really funny guy and nice. So, and tall. He's really
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. I mean, you see him in movies. He played a movie with Kevin James right there, where they were best friends right there, keeping a secret or whatever. That guy's a monster, man. It must be someone intimidating. The first time you met him right there, he's 7'12" or something like that. I mean, he's a huge guy.
Yeah, he's 7'12". That sounds about right. No, but he's so friendly that he's not intimidating. But yeah, it's you don't realize quite how tall he is until you see him in person. You're like, wow, he really is that tall.
Yeah. So you guys are not only seasoned musicians here. You guys have done a little bit of everything right here growing up. Now, I'm going to let everybody out there who's listening right now, I'm going to let you guys know a little secret real quick. You better go on Facebook and like these girls right now because, first of all, they are third-degree black belts in Taekwondo. They teach Taekwondo, so they can probably whoop your butt. And if you think you can hide, look, they just told you they filmed all over the United States, so they know where they're going. They ride horses, and they have competitive swam. So you can't hide from them, so you better like them before they come find you. I'm just giving a little heads up real quick.
We will have more members of our Doing Harp Revolution, even if we have to coerce them, right?
That's right. Look, man. You guys, really, I went and read your bio the other day on your website, and it's a small book, by the way, because you guys have pretty much, look, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 41 next Sunday, and I haven't done half of what you guys have done. I'm like, look, I got some catching up to do here. I got to add some things to my bucket list here.
There's no time like the present. We believe in you. Yeah, we like staying busy, so we've always kind of been involved in a lot of different things, a lot of activities. Yeah,
just what I read on your bio, what you do with the horses and the taekwondo and the swimming and all the the videos you've made, the music you're doing, you're in the movies. They're sharpshooters, yeah. They're sharpshooters also. So you guys, look, you really can't hide. But I mean, look, seriously here. I have 6 kids. And I understand how difficult it is to get here and get there and do this. And you got football and you got baseball and you have ballet or this. I don't know how you don't have 12 parents to get you two through all of what you have done.
We've always been very self-driven, so it didn't ever take anyone really trying to get us to go do something. We were always proactive ourselves. Yeah, we have very A-type personalities, so we were kind of always pushing ourselves to do things. And one of our college professors told us that we were the most tenacious people that he'd ever met. He said that he imagined us waking up every morning and saying, today we go to war. So I guess that...
I can see that. But I'm just telling you right now, before you turned 16 and got driver's license and could take yourself to some of these places, your mom, God bless her. I mean, I'll tell you what, right now, tell her I said a good job. Because, I mean, she was working her tail off. I'll tell you what, look.
She's probably listening in somewhere, so... Yeah.
Well, if she's out there, you know what? God bless you. You did a great job. First of all, you guys are stand-up girls right here, and your music's phenomenal. I mean, I can't imagine your resume's 23 pages long each. And you guys are killing it. But you know what? There's some people behind you that had something to do with that when you were younger, and God bless you, because you did a heck of a job.
We are really blessed to have really supportive parents and a very supportive brother, so...
Cool.
That's unbelievable.
One thing I did want to ask before we wrap it up here was, what did you do? what did you do with John McCain?
Oh, yeah, we actually didn't do anything with John McCain. Those pictures were from a movie shoot, actually, a movie called Politics of Love. It was the first feature film we were in. It was a few years ago now, and we played, it came out in 2011, but we played these kind of, we played actually Obama supporters who were pretending to be McCain supporters, and so they were kind of very like almost caricature type roles. But yeah, after we got cast, they allowed us to bring our harps into the plot a little bit, and we arranged a song for to play in the film and stuff like that. But we actually played a harp and sang as like pretend campaign. I guess volunteers. So yeah, that was actually acting. We've never met John McCain or played for him or anything. So, although we have played for quite a few political events on both sides of the spectrum.
Well,
That is so cool.
I wasn't gonna get into a, try and get into
Political
a
thing, yeah.
Don't worry. But I just, I saw this picture. I had to ask about it. But.
Yeah. I'm sorry, real quick. Quick question here, because you brought up the sharpshooters right there. Now, you guys did competitive shooting?
Yeah, we did a little bit of competitive shooting. Most of the shooting that we did was just working up in the ranks at a junior rifle club. To get we were working toward our distinguished experts in riflery, and we were on a junior rifle club team. So
Okay.
we did a little bit of competition type stuff, but not a lot.
Okay.
It was mostly just for fun. But just shooting 22 rifles, so not
Okay.
too heavy duty. But once in a while, they'd bring out some extra, handguns or some more powerful guns with a bigger kickback.
Exactly. Well, my son's a competitive shooter as well, but he does like skeet and trap shooting. So I was wondering what kind of shooting you guys did, but yeah. So his team this year took second in the nation in competitive skeet shooting, which is pretty awesome. So I was just wondering what kind of shooting you guys were doing. I mean, and range shooting, that's another thing. With a 22, long range, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really difficult.
Yeah, we've actually never done skeet shooting. We just did target shooting in a range. So, but maybe someday we'll have to try that.
I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I mean, Thunder, do you?
No, man, look, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's just as simple as this. We had an interview with two ladies who've done almost absolutely great guests. You guys are very well-rounded, very respectable young ladies. You guys have done everything, and I can't wait to see what else comes up. You guys do have an album you put out recently.
We have 2 cover albums out. Our Harp Attack CD and our Harp Fantasy CD. Our Harp Attack has all of our rock and classic rock and metal, and our Harp Fantasy has our TV, movie, video game, and anime music on it. And we're currently working on our Harp Attack 2 and Harp Fantasy 2 CDs. We're doing a lot of recording this month, a lot of arranging and recording of new tracks for those. So hopefully they will be out sometime later this year.
Well, go ahead and throw out there your web addresses, and what's the best place to get your music where you guys are going to make the most money? Because obviously, I mean, you can go through Amazon and probably find your music right there, but if they go through your website, you guys get the money right there. And, doing all these recordings and going out and traveling the country and making videos, I mean, it costs money, so let's find a way for you guys to make a little money on this little venture you're on right here, and just let people know where they can find you.
Right, yeah, our website is just www.harptwins.com, so Harp Twins is really easy to remember. And, the best place to buy our music, and there's links right through our website, is CD Baby. They give us the largest percentage, so when, we appreciate people buying our music through whatever source, if it's not illegal.
Exactly.
And our website links to there, and our website also links to our Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, YouTube, everything. So the website is harptwins.com.
Well, ladies, I'd like to send out a thank you to you guys.
Hold on, Thunder.
Go ahead. All right, well, let me know what's going on, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, the two of you were great guests, and I just wanted to maybe suggest a location to you because of the fact that Chattanooga, Tennessee, you have an underground waterfall that has a hike through a cave, with stalactites and, all this other stuff and everything. That would be a great location. Plus the underground waterfall, that's Ruby Falls. But also there's, on Raccoon Mountain, there's actually a lake where they suck water up from the river about 500 feet, maybe even more than that below. And when the water is out, it looks like you're on another planet.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah.
We're always on the lookout for cool locations.
Yeah, I'll definitely send you links to.
Oh yeah, please do. That'd be awesome. And thanks so much for having some. Oh, we had a great time.
Well, you know what? Thank you, ladies. And once again, I mean, it's been our pleasure to have you guys on the show, and just multi-talented. Guys, check these ladies out here. If you're an old metalhead like us, you're not going to believe what you hear from these girls. And thanks for keeping metal alive. I mean, it takes all different types and all different kinds of genres to keep this thing going. We love the older music and love the new bands that are coming out with the older style, and having you guys out there throwing the harps out there with some Metallica, AC/DC, and I mean, even when you're doing anime and you're doing, the theme songs for the TV shows and video games, I mean, you guys are all over the place.
Well, we like to cross styles and genres and decades, and show what harps can do.
Well, I'm certainly impressed. And also, one thing, we should probably also get. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this show is going to set a record for us as far as live listeners. But if people want to contact you for a personal appearance, what email address would they contact you at?
It's harptwins at harptwins.com, so that's right on our website too, and that's the best place to contact for booking.
Okay. Because I know you guys, I know you guys travel around the country. You do personal appearances and everything. And if I ever strike it rich, I'm going to have you guys come play at one of my events.
That's right.
And people can suggest us to local events like fairs, festivals, cons, things like that, because a lot of events bring us in because people request us to come in. So yeah, people a lot of times don't realize what an effect they have on event organizers, but they do. If people suggest us, event organizers are likely to check it out and see if they want to bring us in for an event.
Absolutely. Well, once again, ladies, thank you very much for being on the show, and thank you for what you're doing in the music industry. You guys actually, you guys got a great handle on where you're going, and good luck in the future.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here with Fear of the Dark, and that'll be it for us for tonight. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, you guys were great.
All right, see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and this is Fear of the Dark by the Harp twins, Camille and Kennerly, and we'll be back. We'll be right back in a few minutes after this to formally wrap it up. welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That was, of course, Fear of the Dark, covered by the lovely Harp twins, Camille and Kennerly. And that was the song that turned me on to them, and, you know, and I found them thanks to my favorite band of all time, Iron Maiden.
That's the one thing you gotta love about Iron Maiden right there, man. Look, you know, you're sitting there and you're trying to cut the lawn or you're doing whatever you want to do, and you got your headphones in, you never have to worry. Iron Maiden has great music, and they know how to play a song. It's not a 3-minute little bit. You get good 4, 5, 6 minutes worth of music kicking every time. Love it, man.
Right. Or 15 minutes, like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Exactly, man. Now, what's the longest song? What is it? Mercy, my brain just stopped working. The longest song.
Maiden?
No, not Maiden. Of all times, man. It's
Oh, there's several. I mean, like Inagata de Vitas and...
Inagata de Vitas, that's what I'm thinking. That's one of the longest songs, single songs ever written.
It's one of the... But I'm pretty sure the Grateful Dead have it covered, but I mean, shit, I don't want to talk about them. You know...
Or it could be the Eagles of Hotel California, because they play that same riff for 40 minutes after the song's over.
For 50 years.
Oh, God, I love it, man.
But these ladies were amazing guests. I'm definitely interested in having them on again at some point. Yeah, and one thing I noticed about them is not only were they cool and really awesome and everything, but they were. I mean, one would start the sentence, the other would finish it.
Absolutely. You know what? And there's times in our show, man. I mean, we've been friends for over 30 years, man. Over 30 years.
Yeah.
And
but
we
don't have
can't get it down. We can't get it down. We talk over each other all the time. I mean, and that's the one thing with twins right there. It's crazy.
They weren't talking over each other. They were starting a sentence and completing their sentence.
And they knew what they were talking about. Like, like when we were doing the whole Spinal Tap moment, the one talks about her saying, and you go, but that's not as funny as yours. And they just, I mean, transitionless right there and just smooth. I mean, I see what you're saying right there. And there is a difference in twins. There's a video on YouTube, if you look it up sometime, and it's nothing really. It's two twins that are about a year and a half old. All right? Mm-hmm. And they're in the kitchen. And they can't speak. They don't use real words. But they have a conversation. My wife showed it to me because we have twins. They're 19 now. And these two kids right here knew exactly what they were saying with no words.
You should have told Camille and Kennerly about that. Really.
Oh, it is so funny. It's so funny. This one, and the one's getting mad. And it's pointing to the other one, and it's slapping its hand in the air.
I'm not talking about the video. I'm not talking about the video. I'm talking about, you should have told Camille and Kennerly about the fact that you have twins. You I mean, I know if I had twins, I would have brought it up.
I mean, see, my twins are boy and girl, and they're not identical twins.
Oh, okay.
They're really different than each other. I mean, this video I'm talking about.
Sex.
Yes, yeah, I mean, and they're totally different.
But the beauty of what
talking about special needs kids. Go ahead.
The beauty of what the Harp twins do, I mean, they travel the country together, and you know, from what I can tell, I mean, they don't have they don't have
any animosity.
Sibling rivalry or anything like that. I mean, it's just
well, you gotta think, man, they've been through everything together.
Right, they're probably the best of friends.
Yeah.
I tell you what, and I'm not trying to get into any of their personal business. All I'm going to say is I think it would be a challenge to try and date a twin when the two twins have like that tight of a bond.
Oh, absolutely it would. I mean, because and it's kind of funny like that, but that's the truth right there. It's hard enough to get past mom and dad and get their approval, but when you have somebody who's just like you looking in from the outside,
right?
I mean, like, because they're seeing the opposite of what you're blinded by.
Now, I've known twins that were identical in every aspect, like our guest tonight. I've also known twins that looked alike, but were nothing alike.
Exactly.
So it's it's kind of funny, but I mean, and that's one thing that I thought was really interesting, that they both kind of when they were young decided they wanted to play the harp together. They both like
And
heavy
it's
metal.
not, and they weren't.
both,
I mean, they were in there. They said they were in junior high when they decided to play the harp. They played piano when they were younger. But the cool thing is, Mom and Dad didn't go out and buy it for them. They worked for everything that they had right there, and I think that makes a big difference right there. There's a difference when, you know, your mom and dad, you know, oh, I'm going to give you piano lessons, this, that, and everything. But my daughter, who's 19, the twin, she was in ballet for years and hated it. She's not a ballet dancer now.
Right.
But, you know, when she shows horses, and she loves that. And she came in 3rd or 4th in the whole country 2 years ago in, you know, walking horses. That's the difference right there. When you find something you love, and they found something they loved, you know, something kind of cool and different, and they decided to run with it. You know, and that was cool, because I was picturing that they, you know, came from a well-to-do family. And, you know, I mean, with everything they've done, I mean, I don't understand how you can, you know, become a black belt in karate or taekwondo, you know, sharpshooter, you do horses, you play the harp. But they did the work to buy the harp. That's awesome right there. I mean, that's a game changer right there.
Sure.
And so when they had the idea to do something, they put their mind together. They babysat. They walked dogs. They did what they had to do. Bought their first harp, one harp, and started playing and learning together.
And you know
and
what?
then they used what they did to get where they are, man. And so they're not the baby game like we talk about, like with American Idol, where, you know, these kids get lessons and, you know, all of a sudden I want to be a star.
Oh, no.
These girls, they went through the ranks, man. I mean, they went and bought their first one.
They went through the ranks. And they did, you know, they built this themselves. They had a vision, and they.
You know what I had a vision of when they were telling that story?
Huh?
You know what vision I had? All right.
What?
Thinking of a song, standing out in the rain, listening to the guitar, go to the secondhand store, you know, and buy the guitar. Jukebox Hero.
Right.
Well, you know what? That's them. Instead of buying that one guitar, they bought that one harp. And they're becoming YouTube heroes.
And
they're
you know
taking
what?
over the United States.
We still got a fair amount of people on, you know, like still listening in the chat room and whatnot. I mean, we generally have, you know, metal bands as guests. I mean, we didn't know what to expect from this, you know, from this interview. I mean, this was new territory for us, and I'm sure it was for them as well. And you know, I'm totally happy with the way the interview turned out. I mean, they're metal.
Look, I'm telling you what I look. Absolutely, they're metal.
Like I said, you know, in the early part of the interview, I mean, there's guitar players that can't play Iron Maiden that well.
And, you know, and for those of you out there right now who listen and be like, oh, I can't believe they have harp players. Let me tell you something right now. These girls are more metal than most of the metalheads I've met. to go out there and you try and take whatever instruments you have, and you play. They play more covers. Will, me and you have been together in bands for a long time. We did a lot of originals. We were never in cover bands, but we played a cover here or two. Just, you know, it's something to fill in your set and to keep the audience, you know, live right there. Throw them your stuff and throw them something they know. Throw them your stuff, throw them something you know. They played more covers than me and you combined.
Yeah.
And not only do they play covers,
the thing about it is, I mean, you know, the thing about it is they're playing these covers with something completely different. They're not just out there, you know, with some dumbass trying to play Crazy Train,
or trying to play Free Bird, or trying to play Smoke on the Water. Right. No, they're taking intricate songs and taking a super intricate instrument. And you know the cool thing is with them being twins and having the same mindset is that a lot of this stuff couldn't be done with one harp. So what they've done is they've taken like the guitar solo part right there, and they're playing off each other. I'm going to hit this note and this note while you hit this note and that note. It's awesome, and it's ridiculous cool.
they didn't play the guitar solo in Crazy Train, but they did play it in Fear of the Dark. They did play it in Dance of Death. They did play it in most of the other tunes that they have. So I mean, and you know what?
Can you imagine what they could do with a full?
Train?
Yeah. Can you imagine what they could do with an orchestra behind them?
Yeah. Well,
now,
what
girls,
was the point, though?
those girls right there, that's what should be on America's Got Talent. Or,
damn right.
You know, I mean, that's true artwork and perfection. I worked my knuckles to the bone, and here's an opportunity. And I know a lot of people who are on America's Got Talent have done their work and, you know, been out there doing it for 20, 30 years, and this is an avenue for them or what so have you. You also have, you know, the one guy who, oh, yeah, I know I got a good voice, I can sing, but I haven't done my homework and I haven't gone out there and paid my dues. And I understand why people don't like it because of that. But if you had these girls right here on, like, America's Got Talent, which they don't need that. They've made their mark already. Man, they've been all over the place.
Well, yeah, they've got a couple 100,000 followers on Facebook. They've got, like, close to 500,000 on YouTube. I mean, and as well as like over 100,000 on Twitter. I mean, people know who they are.
Right.
And I was honored to have them. I mean, you know, I called them YouTube sensation, and that's what they are. And
they're they're an American sensation because I mean they go all over the country and they're playing gigs and everything. I'm just very proud to see two young people in America right now who have bellied up and put the work in and have made a success of themselves right there. And they're very humble. Yeah. They were very, you know, light about the whole thing, but they've really done a lot, man. Where else can you find two young people that have done as much as they've done? I mean, it's far and few between.
There's two cello players, and I want to get them on the program at some point. Because
and that's fine. I mean, I'm just telling you. I mean, but I'm just saying, it just shows you right there that it doesn't matter, you know, at their young age, and they've accomplished so much.
Right.
And I'm being honest, man, I'm 41 years old next Sunday, and guess what?
I think Camille and Kennerly have probably done a lot more than what these two cello players have done, but been around longer, accomplished more, whatever. But
you know, this is all about music right here. And if you find talent somewhere, bring them on the show. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, talent's talent right there.
Talent.
And, exactly. And to find two girls right here, and they gave a lot of praise to their mom, being an old metalhead who loved classic rock and stuff like that. I mean, they've done everything from Guns N' Roses, Metallica to Iron Maiden, and they can't be over 25 years old. They can't be.
No,
I've seen the pictures. They're, mid-20s somewhere. And they go out there, and they don't only play metal music. I mean, they've done a lot of other things. But it's amazing. And they're doing their own arrangements right there. So, I mean, they've gone and they've done the studies to learn the theory behind it and, how the instrument works. And, they said, and it's funny. I mean, it was so rock star to be like, oh, yeah, what we do is we play what the teacher wanted us to play, and we throw a little extra in the background at the end of the song of whatever. They wouldn't put it on the program because they knew they'd never let us do it. And after the third, fourth time, that teacher's just getting madder and madder, going, look, that's not how the harp's supposed to be played right there, you son of a bitch, you. You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that. Why didn't you ask him that? Seriously. Damn.
I don't know. I mean, look, hindsight's 20/20. We were just going so into the interview and talking with them, and they were lively and fun, energetic. I'm like, man.
Absolutely. Yeah,
well, anyway, man, it's getting about to the end of the program right here. But now it's about time for me to go take some NyQuil and go to bed, and hopefully I won't be as raspy and stuffy as I did last week. And I hope I didn't hack into the phone too much and interrupt things tonight.
You were fine, man. We're going to go ahead and next week we have we have a couple more females on the show. We have two writers from heavy metal websites that focus on female singers. And it's going to be
which is a really, I mean, there's a decent uprising in the, metal music, not just metal, but in the music community of female singers. They're really starting to take the lead, and especially music, as we know. I mean, we've been around the globe here a couple times, some bands from here and some bands from overseas, found some fantastic singers. And the one thing with the female singer, females usually have a higher octave.
Well, yeah, unless you're like Mark Slaughter or...
Right. And to hit some of these notes that they're hitting and just the quality, and then on top of that, they have some growls. I mean, there's some bands out there, death metal bands with female singers that are crazy out there.
And actually, we've kind of got one coming up. I mean, and this is kind of big. I mean, we've got Lindsay Schoolcraft, who is the female lead singer of Cradle of Filth. We've got her coming up on the 26th.
I mean, and that's a band that a lot of people know, man. That's
Hold on.
a somewhat.
We're about to go off the air.
All right, well, let's go ahead and just call it a night right now. We'll talk next week more about what's coming on in a couple weeks here. But once again, man, the Harp Twins are awesome. Hey, Will, good show tonight, brother, and I will. I'll talk to you later. So let's put the little outro on there, and we'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Absolutely, great show. I've got somebody. You know, this is cool. I mean, people are commenting on the, in the chat room. This is an awesome show. Congratulations, stuff like that. I got somebody else typing. Camille and Kennerly have actually been invited several times to America's Got Talent, and they have, well, they weren't there.
They did what they did. You know what? And that's great, man. Because you know what? They don't need it anyway. Because they're already superstars. They don't need a Vegas show right now. They're awesome, man.
But let's go ahead and wrap this up. The show will be on YouTube. I'm gonna get it up on YouTube tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, have a good one, Will.
You too.
Thank you for listening to the Will and Thunder Show. The band that's going to take us out is Beyond the Fade from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can find them at Beyond the Fade at Twitter and also at Facebook, Beyond the Fade. The song's called Lights Out, and they're going to take us out. Thank you for listening to the Will and Thunder Show. We'll be back next week, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern till midnight, with another awesome guest for you. Later.
Blog Talk Radio.
Basically.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry. Well.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
Will and Thunder Show.
Will and Thunder Show.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
welcome to the Will and Thunder Show. Are you there, Thunder?
Yes, I'm here, man. Welcome on into another edition of the Will and Thunder Show. It's Tuesday night. We're starting a little late this evening by a half hour, but here we are ready to rock and roll, man. Got a good show kicking off tonight, man. How you been there, Mr. Will?
Oh my God, I made it in to start the show like with seconds to spare. It said your show, like literally when I logged on, it said your show will go live in 30 seconds, and I was able to get logged in and everything just in time to hit the intro right on schedule. Everything's good. We're just
Man, I didn't know if they started the intro or what, or if I was in the queue or what was going on. I was sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'll wait to see if he's there or what's going on, but we got it rolling, man. That was good timing on your part.
That's perfect. Yeah, for those new listeners, we've already got people filing into the chat room. The Harp twins, Camille and Kennerly, they will be here in about 30 minutes or so, 11 o'clock Eastern. What we'll do is about 5 minutes till or so, we'll break and play one of their songs, and then we'll come back with them. Our normal start time is 10 o'clock, and but I had some things come up and everything, and I had to take care of, and I literally just got here with like about a half a second spare to start the show.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's going to be a real unique show, man. The guests we have on tonight, as you said, Camille and Kennerly, man, these are some well-rounded young ladies, man. First of all, they play an instrument that is ridiculous hard to play, first of all. I mean, you will right there. You play the guitar, which has anywhere from 6 to 12 strings. I play the bass, which I played anywhere from 4 to 6 strings. But the amount of weaponry you have on a harp, man, the amount of string, it's unbelievable. And the sounds of these girls.
I don't even know how many strings on a harp.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, well, that's something we'll find out tonight. But the way that they have composed these rock songs, and it's awesome to be classically trained in something and have a love of another and bring them together like that. It's a great sound, man. But anyway, what's new in the news, man? What's going on in the world of rock and roll? Anything big you found out going on today?
Oh, actually, there's a little bit of news, and there's some stuff in history. We usually for the new listeners out there, we usually kick off the show, talk about the rock and metal news as well as this day in history. But we got a few news stories, and we're gonna.
I read the news today, oh boy.
All right. Well, the news. Since we got two ladies, we've got news. We've got another lady making news, and this kind of upsets me a little bit because I dig Evanescence. But
Yeah, so do I.
Their singer Amy Lee has come out and said that she doesn't plan on doing anything with Evanescence in the foreseeable future. Which, yeah, that sucks. But
Yeah, I mean, again, they're a really good band. And when they came out, I mean, that was a great combination they had with the dueling, because they had the dueling vocals right there. But the powerhouse was her, of course. I mean, but you never know. You know how things go with bands. Sometimes things just don't work out, especially personality-wise. And, I mean, you never know what the backdrop is. It's sad, but, I mean, we got to dig a little further into the story.
I just hate it when people think, rock bands and whatnot think that they're going to, like they're going to be better without the band that made them. I mean, I think the only exception to that rule, the only one that was actually a little bit better was when John Bon Jovi released that solo album of his back in the day with Jeff Beck playing guitar and everything. That was a really good solo album. But I mean, he went back to the original band. But when people just get their attitude gets in the way, and they think, oh well, I'm the big reason why the band was successful, so I'll be even more successful on my own, and I'll make more money because I won't have to split it evenly with these other jokers. And that's they made you big for a reason. You got big with them for a reason. It's because you guys function as a unit. I mean, think back to like Gwen Stefani when she released her solo stuff after No Doubt. I mean, No Doubt was a really good band. Not really my style, but they were a really good band. But then all of a sudden she comes out with this, rap stuff or whatever, this hip hop
Yeah.
garbage, and it's just I haven't heard anything from her since. I mean, I heard a little bit about a No Doubt reunion coming sometime soon, but I don't know when it is. I don't know if it happened, when it happened.
Right. Speaking of reunions, not really a reunion, but another metal band put out a new album this year. I believe it came out yesterday or today.
Who?
Kix.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that they had a new album out. I saw it on Sleaze Rocks, which is a site that I write for. And where did that come from?
I have no idea. Nice plug.
Sleaze, ROXX. I write for that site, and yeah, they were talking about Kix's album.
Yeah, I just saw a quick blurb on it, and trying to look them up on YouTube, but you got to go through most of their old stuff. I didn't even find their new stuff on there yet. But that'd be good to hear. I mean, I love hearing all these bands coming back out. You get them back out there, and it's gonna, influence a lot of the newer people out here. So I mean, it's kind of awesome.
I wonder what if Camille and Kennerly did were to do the song "Don't Close Your Eyes" by Kix on the harps, how that would sound.
It would probably sound awesome. I mean, it's a great tune. It's got a great melody and all that. I mean, yeah, it can be pulled off easily.
Mm-hmm.
For them especially. I mean, the masters of their craft as they are. I mean.
Yeah. Another little bit in the news today. I read the news today. Oh boy. You've heard of Pandora and Spotify and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, Alice in Chains drummer, he doesn't like those sites.
Right, because you kind of the music's being given away for free. I mean, or very minimal payment goes to the bands on any of those sites.
Well, what he said.
Well,
was,
not sites, but apps. I mean,
Right. Well, what he said was basically if you get 10 million plays of your song and you get a check for $111. Now I don't know if he's exaggerating. I would kind of hope that he's exaggerating. But
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, it is a ripoff and it sucks.
That's a whole new meaning to start a musician right there. I mean, goodness gracious, man! Split that 4 or 5 ways with your band members. You guys aren't even eating at McDonald's anymore.
No.
Golly,
that's
crazy.
Just people in general aren't eating at McDonald's anymore. I saw a news story about that too. McDonald's has actually been reported losses over the past fiscal quarter.
And you know what? You know that they are no longer the largest franchise in the world?
Who's got them beat?
Subway.
Wow. That's hard to believe.
Well, a few years back, everybody went through this health movement of, healthier eating, and the whole Jared thing worked for Subway like a champ, man, I'm telling you. And,
right,
but seriously, yeah, it's a...
I just never thought that Subway would have more franchises out there and more stores out there than McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's...
Well, you think everywhere you go, you see a Subway. They have standalone buildings. They're in convenience stores. They're in Walmarts. I mean, they're everywhere.
True.
For
all you people in the chat room, we got a bunch in there. The ladies, Camille and Kennerly will be with us in about 15 minutes. Just letting y'all know, this is the Will and Thunder Show, and we're doing our little warm-up segment, talking about rock and metal news, and I guess Subway.
kind of got turned in there, and how, I'm not sure, but anyway, it always twists and turns to something. And a little more news, something that we, kind of need to talk about is, and it's not really rock news, man, but it kind of rocked the world, is Robin Williams.
Yeah. And I'm not really going to go into suicide and everything. This isn't a show about lectures and morality and stuff like that. But what I will do is just put a word out there to all these idiot networks and everything. Just lay off. Give the man some respect, please. You know, it's just, do we really need the gruesome details like every 30 minutes? I mean, the story is almost 48 hours old. Does it really need to be the leading story? Does it really, I mean, you know, give the man some freaking dignity. I mean, I don't...
Exactly. Well, the one thing here is, you know, I don't respect the whole idea of suicide and all that.
Check your mic there, Thunder. Check your mic there, Thunder. You sound like you're in a tin can.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. Now, as I said, you're right, this is not a show about morality, but you know, there is reality to it. But I don't agree with suicide or what have you, but my belief's beyond that. You know what? The one good thing that